Back with the player ratings. I'm here with Lee. I know it's a bit of a weird thing. I'm interviewing you, isn't it?
Well, no, it's weird, isn't it? But hey, we'll see how it goes.
We'll start with Martin Dubravka, Lee.
Couple of blocks in there. Done a great save before they scored. Couldn't do much about that goal, but 7 out of 10.
That was a fantastic save, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to start with DeAndre Yedlin this time. Don't think it was as good as it was last week by DeAndre Yedlin. Ryan Fraser was a real handful for us. I think he was Bournemouth's best player. Again, his cross, better second half. His crossing was a little bit better. I'm going to go 6. I think it was a little bit worse than last week. The first centre half, Fabian Schär.
I think he grew in confidence. He was a bit shaky because I remember Fernandez come over and said, "Come on, what are you doing?" There's a bit of a miscommunication, but he grew in confidence. I think having a talk alongside him helps him. Didn't see much of his passing to what it was in the second half of last week, but coped fairly well. Bournemouth's attacking threats for 7.
Federico Fernandez is becoming a fantastic centre half for Newcastle United. Candidate for man of the match. Don't think he'll get it. I think Rondon will probably get that. We'll talk about him a little bit later on. But Federico Fernandez, for me, just does the easy stuff. If we're in trouble, kick it away. If he's got a player next to him, he'll barge him out the way. His passing's fine as well because he was at Swansea and they play that sort of football, and Rafa likes that sort of defender.
He's a talker. He's played for Argentina. How many caps has he got? 30 caps or something?
He was brilliant today, and the thing is, if you haven't got Lascelles, the person you want is a Fernandez. If you look at the last few performances, I'm going to go 9 out of 10 today. I think he was absolutely brilliant for Newcastle this afternoon. Paul Dummett Lee.
See, he was tested a little bit in particular as well, but I thought in second half he done better because Brooks was coming over, his Welsh teammate was coming over to his side as well. But yeah, steady 7.
Diame, again, not as good as he was last week. I think he was a lot worse than last week. I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. Diame, not bad for me. He gave the ball far too many times. He just looked he looks very clumsy when he has the ball.
He shouldn't be guaranteed to start.
But I think the problem is, and I think James touched on it in his match review, I don't think he'll play Shelvey and Key. It was like last season, he didn't play Shelvey and Marino together. So he will have Diame or a Hayden. I think that might be a sort of midfield that we'll have to look at in January. But 4 for me. I can't really give him much higher than that. And I know we've won, which sounds a bit harsh, but he wasn't great today. On the left side, Kenedy.
Oh, we're skipping Key then, right?
I'll go back to Key in a minute.
Okay, so Kenedy, I'm going to give him an 8. He done most of the stuff well, but there's bits and bobs of his game he still needs to improve. We've seen it last week, his last-ditch challenge. He's defensively getting better. He still needs a talker around him, though, to guide him. Going forward, he holds on the ball a little bit too long for me. We know he's got great technique, we know he's got a shot on him, but I thought going offensively, I'm going to give him an 8.
Hell of a cross for that second goal.
It was very Robert, wasn't it? Shearer. But going forward, you kind of question his ability. He just needs to let go of the ball a little bit.
I'll let you continue with Key. What do you think what do you think about Key today?
I'm going to have to get 9. 9. The thing I like about him is when he passes the ball, he moves and wants it back. And we'll have no other midfielder who does that. Shelvey will pick the ball off a centre-back, look up and ping it. Shelvey's a totally different player. And even talking about those two can't play together. When Shelvey and Key played at Swansea, there was always a third man. So whether it was Leroy Fer or Leon Britton, he played with a 3 in the Swansea system. So maybe that's something that we'll look at. But Key just brings us forward an extra 10 to 15 yards carrying the ball, where Shelvey doesn't. So Key, again, got us from A to B quicker than what we have. We looked so good, in particular first half, 9.
I loved what he did in the first half. He had the ball at his feet and there was like 3 Bournemouth players around him. I think he must have taken the maximum of 4 touches, and all the 3 Bournemouth players didn't know where he was going. It was absolutely brilliant to watch. I'll go with Matt Ritchie on the right. Again, effort.
It was better than last week.
Yeah, a little bit, especially the first half. Second half, we didn't see a lot of him. Defensively, when we talk about this, defensively, effort, you cannot fault Matt Ritchie. You really cannot. Slightly better going forward. Again, I think you look at Christian Atsu, Jacob Murphy, they've got to be knocking on the door to make an effort to try and get Ritchie out of this team, because Kennedy's not getting dropped at the minute. And at the minute, Ritchie, I wouldn't say he's getting a free pass, but I think there should be more players like banging on the door a little bit. I'll give Ritchie a 6 again. I don't think he was really that good today, but he's not playing international football, so 2 weeks break, it might benefit him. Number 10, Jose Perez.
He should have started because he came off the bench last week and done really well, so he deserves his place whether Mutu was injured or not.
Was anybody else available?
I don't know, but he went to right midfield second half. and that was a tactical decision because, let's be honest, the bench was stretched. Worked hard there, but going forward, quality-wise, 6, and that's me being generous.
I agree with that one. I don't think it was that good at all today. Number 9, Salomon Rondon. I'm torn between a 9 and a 10. And do you know what? Because we've had 2 ones on the bounce and I'm feeling generous, I'm going to go 10 out of 10 for Salomon Rondon. And the main reasons I'm going for a 10, 2 great goals, but you might not see as much of this on a match of the day or, you know, whatever Sky Sports put as their highlight, match choice. His hold-up play was absolutely fantastic. He was winning free kicks. He very rarely lost the ball, and that was a Joselu. You know, we would lose the ball plenty of times. Joselu wouldn't have scored those 2 goals that Rondon did today. And he was absolutely brilliant. He didn't give Bournemouth centre-halves a second. Nathan Ake's £20 million defender that they've got off Chelsea, and he absolutely bossed him. He was absolutely brilliant today, and he deserves all the credit. He gets all the plaudits. It was a fantastic performance today. The first substitution, Lee, was Isaac Hayden. I think that was right, wasn't it?
Yeah. They all happened so quickly.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
5 minutes.
Yeah, we'll go Isaac Hayden to start.
For me, he hasn't got a future at the club. There's several of us don't want him at the club. I don't want him at the club. Come on, was playing in a strange number 10 position at first, and then moved back to centre mid. 5. Didn't have enough time to impact the game.
Christian Atsu, I think, was next on. And when he came on, he looked a little bit better. He did, didn't he? Got the ball, took a defender on, curled in with a shot. It was a good save by Begovic. I think he's trying to prove Paul wrong, I think. Paul gave him such a slaying at Nottingham Forest. I think he's watched it and gone, you know what? Exactly. I think he wants to try and prove him wrong. I'm going to give Christian Atsu a 6 today. Okay. And finally, Kieran Clark. Did he have enough time to make an impact?
I liked his burst. Some people thought it was Paul Dummett down that wing. It wasn't. It was Kieran Clark. Again, didn't have enough time to impact the game, but his job was to come on and just stop the bombardment of Bournemouth. 5, 6. No, I'll go 6. I'm being generous.
And finally, Rafa Benitez will both try and agree on this one. He used the same team that finished the game. I think he had no choice. Yeah. The substitutions, when they came on, they all worked hard. They all worked well. You can tell that after about 70 minutes, he thought we need to try and tighten this up a little bit. And especially when Defoe came on in the 80th minute, I don't think Defoe got a touch of the ball, and that just shows how good our formation was, how our tactics were, because, you know, they haven't been playing for 70 minutes, but they came straight in and they got on with the job. I think I'm going to have to give Rafa Benitez another 9 out of 10 performance for me.
I'm going to disagree and go 10.
You're going to go 10?
I'll tell you why. That was a shock for us coming out flying out the blocks. And it's only been the Man United game this season. And that was like, whoa, this isn't the same Newcastle side, considering we're weaker without Shelvey and Lascelles. That was like, we were so good, in particular first 35, pushing 40 minutes. Bournemouth, you might say they're lucky because they've got one luck, you make your own luck. They scored literally on the stroke of half time, but I liked what Rafa does. We criticise him on this channel, saying he doesn't do enough during the game. Can he influence the game? For me, he did. You realise that Bournemouth are going to come at it. He went 5 at the back. Yes, a few substitutions beforehand when Clark come on, flat back 5. Bournemouth then didn't have any chances, I think, when Clark come on. I know he did a couple beforehand, but for me, in the game, he influenced it, so 10 out of 10.
We'll go 10, we're being nice today. That's 2 10 out of 10s in our player ratings today. I'd like you to get your comments in. Would you have given any 10 out of 10s for today's performance if you were at the game as well? Please like and subscribe to Newcastle Fans TV, and we'll see you later on.